Oh, maybe the dishes prepared were only for 23 people, while there were 25 people. Does it mean that? Oh, oh, that's even worse. How often do you communicate with hotels to organize an event, or hold a ceremony, or reserve an area just to hold a meeting? Well, maybe you do it yourself, or you have somebody do it on your behalf for you. Either way, welcome to IELTS Juice, because now we're going to assess a letter for IELTS General Training module, and it is related to hotels and reservations. Let's see. You recently organized with the British spelling, of course, not with Z, with S, an all-day meeting for your company. So it's a business meeting, which took place in a local hotel. All right, so it's a normal local hotel. In their feedback, participants, okay, in their feedback, participants means participants had or made some feedback. Participants at the meeting said that they liked the hotel, but they were unhappy about the food that was served for lunch. Okay. Somebody at the kitchen is in trouble, I suppose. But let's see. Write a letter to the manager of the hotel. Oh, you need to talk to the manager. In your letter, say what the participants liked about the hotel. Good. Explain why they were unhappy about the hotel, and suggest what the manager should do to improve the food in future. So this is not a letter of complaint, nor is it a letter of compliment. So it's basically something in between. And you need to have a balanced approach. The tone is definitely formal. We should not be disrespectful. We should not be very direct. And we are going to submit some sort of a constructive criticism, meaning you're going to criticize the service. And it must be balanced. So you need to say some good things about the hotel, and in specific, maybe the participants loved a certain thing about the hotel. Maybe it was the staff or sanitation, design, whatever. And then in your balanced approach, you need to also talk about some negative aspects of it. And you don't say negatives to paint a bad picture for the hotel. You want the hotel to make a move on that. So based on your constructive criticism, the hotel must make some moves, take some measures to solve the issues you or your or your colleagues maybe, or whoever business related people that were there with you had in mind. On that note, let's continue reading the letter. Dear sir or madam, well, of course, you don't know the name of the hotel manager. That's fine. And in some cases, IELTS also instructs you to start your letters with this. If IELTS tells you to please start your letter with this, like dear sir or madam, we have no choice but to start using dear sir or madam, or whatever IELTS instructs us to write or include. I am writing to you about the last week's reservation, which I made under the name Sitfly. That's a name. Can be anything. Can be jellyfish. Mr. Jellyfish. In your hotel for a business meeting. All right? So far, so good. I mean, yeah, I'm writing regarding that, which happened in the past. There were about 25 people in that event, comma, and everyone appreciated the lovely atmosphere of the place. Okay, if I were the hotel manager, I would now be experiencing a little grin on my face or a little smile on my face. Let's see. We also enjoy the professional attitude of your staff in welcoming and serving us. If I were the manager of the hotel, I would be overjoyed now. Whatever, I don't know. I'm not the manager of that hotel. The quality of the dishes served for lunch, on the other hand, was not satisfactory. Whoa. Now you can see the shining bright smile on my face turned into gloom or sadness. So basically my face turned from laughter into sadness. It was not satisfactory is a very, very blunt saying. You are really displeased with the service. Really. Let's see. Because usually the formal way would be, it did not match, like the lunch, the quality of the lunch served didn't match what we had hoped the hotel would deliver. That would be formal. You know, you don't directly say your lunch is nothing. It's not worth the cost. What type of lunch you served here, sir? You that attitude definitely does not have any place at IELTS. So this is still considered okay. This is still fine, but this is the extreme negativity towards the service. We received various negative feedback is uncountable. We say feedback points. Various negative feedback points regarding the freshness of the ingredients used in them. The quantity of the food, I mean, I guess you mean the food portion. The portions of the food also was not, so the food portion was not enough, and it was embarrassing. Now it makes sense, because we're talking about portion, singular. And it was embarrassing with one R, embarrassing, double R's, for our company. Oh, you mean everybody went home hungry? Oh, that's bad. That's bad. In order to avoid future instances such as this, I would suggest to consider using fresh and high quality materials in cooking. Okay, sounds fair. Use fresh ingredients. I wouldn't use the word materials for cooking. Yeah, foodstuffs, or you can say foodstuff, or you can say ingredients. Furthermore, it is always better to prepare more quantity than estimated. Oh, maybe not the quantity. Maybe we're not talking about portion. Oh, maybe the dishes prepared were only for 23 people, while there were 25 people. Does it mean that? Oh, that's even worse. Yeah, you have every right to be angry. So it's not about portions. It's like there were 25 guests, but only 23 dishes available. So the food was there, but not enough for all the guests. Ah. I needed a bit clarification here, but if this is the case that I now understood, then yeah, oh, you have every right to be super angry than estimated. It would certainly be helpful in improving customer satisfaction. You don't have to say customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction is one thing if you want to talk about that concept. But if you really want to talk about the individuals, then you should say customers, apostrophe comes after S, and then you can say satisfaction. You generalize. You don't talk about the concept. You just talk about people's satisfaction. The message is the same. The difference is very, very small. So it doesn't matter. But this has to change. I hope you consider my comments. Fair. Best regards. And then you sign. 156 words. 156 words. Only 6 words more than the requirement, the minimum requirement. Interesting. And it delivered basically everything we wanted it to deliver. We talked about the good things. We talked about the embarrassing one. 23 dishes. Oh gosh. And finally, we gave some generic ideas, but basically, yeah, you cannot get any further than this. You cannot just go there and talk to the chef and tell him or her that, hey, this is not correct. You need to do this. You know, chefs are, you just need to be careful around them. They tend to get very angry very soon. All right, we're not talking about chefs here. Let's look at the band descriptors. Okay. Oh yeah, of course, task achievement. We talked about every element. Was it 100%? No. There were some instances I really needed some more work. Like towards the end, I realized that it's not a matter of portion. It's a matter of quantity. Like the number of dishes was inaccurate. I wish just we came up with some number. I don't know, 24, 23, 20, whatever number. We only had servings for 20 people, and basically we were 25. And something happened in our correspondence that contributed to this confusion. Something around that line. Coherence and cohesion, everything is logical. The introduction started by thanking and saying some good stuff. So the introduction immediately started answering one of the bullet points. The introduction was not designed in a way to cover the entire letter, but still, it's not something bad. It's just not sequential. It is definitely logical. Yeah, we basically managed all the aspects of cohesion well. We didn't have paragraphing, but every element had its own agenda. So we had 3 body paragraphs, and all 3 had their own focus. So far, it's logical, but there is still some work for every single paragraph to improve, to become better, to have a topic sentence and some supporting sentences. So it doesn't get anything more than 7. It's a healthy, minimum healthy paragraphing style, actually. Vocabulary, grammar, maybe not the issue, but the range was just sufficient. 156 words. What do you expect? So in 156 words, we covered this much. This is quite an achievement. Imagine the writer could go on and add some more sentences. Maybe the lexical resource could get higher, and the grammatical range and accuracy as well. But maybe we could see also more errors. So it's a double-edged sword. Let me tell you this. It's always better to play it safe, because if you write something and then you are not 100% sure, and the reader reads it and doesn't understand your message, this can go very bad. It can drop from 7, and you were hoping that, yeah, if I just add one more sentence, I'm gonna get to 8. And instead of getting from 7 to 8, you go from 7 to 5 or 6. So be very, very careful. On that note, there isn't anything further to add here. I really loved reading this writing, and I really enjoyed reading it. I hope you did as well. And I wish your essays will act as such a good representative as this letter did for us. On that note, I wish you a lovely day ahead.